What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. The Jaguars are now 2-7 after falling to the Philadelphia Eagles 23-28. This will be the 7th Misery Monday of the season. Yeah, and I'm tired. I'm tired of watching this team play football.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
The game was not nearly as close as the score makes it seem. If you didn't end up watching this game, the Jaguars were anemic in the first half. I mean, absolutely stupid in every aspect of the game in the first half. Now, was the defense at least holding their own? Yes, the defense did some good things. They also did some stupid things. Special teams did stupid things. Just individual players doing stupid things. It started, pretty well. We held Philadelphia in their first drive. They punted, and then Jerry Jones just stops blocking his defender, who ends up smashing into Tramwell and ends up causing a fumble that leads to the Eagles' points. And then you just go down the line. Whatever else you want to happen basically happened. I mean, the Jaguars couldn't get anything going. I think they had one first down going into halftime. Trevor Lawrence was like 4 for 12 or something going into halftime and into the third quarter. I think they had like a total of 30-something total yards in the first half. I mean, it was absolutely terrible. And then on the other side, I mean, not just the players, the coaching. The coaching was stupid. I don't know why you would let Travis Etienne start this game. I don't understand what is the obsession with Travis Etienne. He's garbage. He ended up fumbling away, and intercepting because he juggled the ball, but in my opinion, that's basically a receiving fumble when you juggle the ball and just hand it over to somebody. It's pathetic, man. That kid has cost us more games this year than he has helped us win. I don't know why you would start him over Tank Bigsby. The running back situation with these coaches, I have no idea, dude. It makes me so angry. Then at the end of the game, why do you throw to your third string running back in the end zone? Oh my God, it hurts my brain to even think about, dude. Game on the line, who do you go to? Yeah, let's go to our third string running back, fucking D'Ernest Johnson, of all people. It's literally stupidity on all levels. Every single level of this team has somebody stupid. Finally today, I will say you had a little bit of activity from Josh Hines-Allen, had a little bit of activity from Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker got a fumble recovery for a touchdown, but even that really wasn't our playing that caused that fumble. Saquon Barkley tripped over his own player and fumbled because he fell on the ground. I mean, we got lucky enough to pick it up and run it in. It was kind of a goofy run, and yes, that was awesome momentum swing. That was 2 touchdowns in 14 seconds of the game. That was awesome, but I knew it. I was like, this is a fluke. This is one of those things where somebody's going to dangle the treat in front of us Jaguars fans and go, here you go. Look, you're coming back. We weren't coming back. We weren't going to win this game. I didn't care. I was still watching the game. I was still there to support because who knows? I mean, maybe the miracle happens. It does happen, but it's not something where I'm like, it really wouldn't have changed our season. It would have been lucky if it happened in the first place. It's like when we played the Patriots, that punt return. Great, cool. We got a punt return touchdown. It helped us win that game, but that's not going to happen every week. We're not going to get fumble recovery touchdowns every week. So you got to just figure out what the Jaguars can do right, and it's not a lot. I mean, Trevor Lawrence had 2 rushing touchdowns today, so at least he was trying to get in the end zone. I will say that. We converted a couple fourth downs that were pretty big plays, so I will say at least there was moments where we had some kind of momentum. But the second we get in our own head, the second we start to make mistakes, the second the game's on the line, it all collapses. It does every time. We came out of halftime and I was like, we'll either fumble or have a turnover or go 3 and out. I mean, it's one of those 3 things is going to happen. We went 3 and out. It never changes. Like it's nothing different. It's like we have a script at how bad we have to be. You can make a bingo card, which I might do. I might make a bingo card going into next week since we're playing Minnesota. I'm going to make a bingo card of how bad we are. We're going to start the game 3 and out. We'll get less than 100 total yards on offense in the first half. Maybe we'll have 3 points. We'll have less than 10 points guaranteed going into halftime. And then we'll come back and do something in the second half for a few minutes. And then everything will look okay because we'll start to make it a game, but it won't be enough. And that's pretty much the story of the Jaguars. So it's tough. I mean, we had a couple good plays that, I think did deserve a little bit of credit because players made the right decisions in those moments. But other than that, it really wasn't. Like I said, Trayvon Walker grabbing the ball and running with it, that was a good play because he was at least a heads-up play, I'll say. Maybe not a good play because he didn't cause the fumble or anything, but he was smart enough to grab the ball and run it into the end zone. So props to him there, props to the defense. But you watched a team like the Eagles. They got Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith. I mean, these guys are good players, man. They got confidence. They play well every week. They're consistent. Everybody has a bad game every once in a while, but you look at the difference of two teams like that, and there's a reason the Eagles are 6-2 and we're 2-7. I mean, there's a reason. 5 points, sure. I mean, that's a close game, but close games don't matter, dude. There's no moral victories in football. You either win or you lose, period. I don't care if it's by 1 point or 100 points. It doesn't make it better or worse. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. Life keeps moving on. So, at this point, I want to say this game comes down to Trevor Lawrence throwing that interception in the end zone. That we had a chance to win this game. Trevor decides to throw it to our third-string running back. I don't know if it was the coaches who said that should be the decision, or if Trevor just threw a bad ball. I don't know, but either way, just the fact that you were throwing it to Dearness Johnson with the game on the line at all. You're not throwing it to BTJ. You're not throwing it to Evan Ingram. Not even giving it to Tank Bigsby. It's stupidity on every level. There's just nothing but disappointment that can come from these decisions. So let's go ahead and go over some stats because I'm going to try and make this video quick. There's not too much to say here about the Jaguars today. I mean, it's the same thing every week. Doug Peterson, at least in the press conference, he did talk about the coaching needs to be better. You can tell he's a little pissed. He's upset. He's tired. I think he's just as tired as the fan base is. I mean, it's just... I think people are tired of the Jaguars ruining their entire weekend. We wait for months and months for football season, and then we get our hopes up for this to be the product, and it's just trash, man. This is like waiting, a year for a new video game system or a new toy or a new car or something, and you get it, and it's just an absolute piece of shit. And all of that hope, all of that excitement goes out the window, and in fact, you feel stupid. You feel dumb for even being a part and wanting to stick around and say, you know what, maybe it's not as bad. Let me try and figure out some positives. There's just no positives with this team, so I'm going to end up taking this Trevor Lawrence jersey off the wall as soon as the season's over. I just don't have anything to replace it right now, so it's one of those things there's nobody on the team I have confidence in. Again, today I don't know why you don't throw to Brian Thomas Jr. more. Evan Ingram had a few drops. He's inconsistent. I know we don't have Christian Kirk, but that's not an excuse. I mean, Parker Washington had a ball he jumped way too early for. Tank Bigsby didn't even get the start in the game. I mean, there's just too many things you can... I mean, it's an onslaught of terrible decisions from the start. So let's go over some team stats real quick. So total yards, 215 for the Jaguars to 447 from the Eagles. The Eagles destroyed us by almost double they doubled up our yardage entirely with 17 extra yards to spare there. So passing yards, 155 for the Jaguars to 210. I want to say 120 of those yards at least had to have come in the second half. I mean, the Jaguars were anemic in the first half. We had nothing going for us in the first half. It was pretty pathetic. Trevor Lawrence got on a little bit of a hot streak, but again, we get into hot streaks, man. We don't have execution down. That's sad that we can't execute from start to finish in a game. It takes us 2 quarters just to get anything going. Rushing yards, 60 yards for the Jaguars to 237 for the Eagles. It's pathetic, dude. Yards per play, 4.2 for the Jaguars, 6.1 for the Eagles. Now, that I think is a little bit of a fudge only because there's a disparity in plays. Jaguars ran 51 plays, the Eagles ran 73. So, they ran an extra 22 plays than we did. So, yeah, I think for them in general, they're just going to get more yardage because they already had twice as many yards as we did. So, I think our yardage looked good because we were trying to make bigger plays and we didn't run it a ton. So, it just is what it is. Third down efficiency, 3 out of 10 for the Jaguars, 9 out of 17. I mean, they were more than twice what we were doing on third down. Fourth down, we were 1 of 2. They were 0 of 2. Now, we did get a couple good fourth down stops. That was another bright spot. And the 2-point conversions and stuff. We made a couple big defensive stands, finally. But those are just, everybody's jumping in, holding each other back. Those aren't like huge defensive stands. Because then when they mattered, Saquon Barkley got a 19-yard touchdown. Devontae Smith with a one-handed touchdown catch in the end zone when we need to hold them. They couldn't make the stops when we really needed the stops. They made the stops when they really didn't matter that much. And you're looking at the game thinking, hey, at least they're doing something. I get it, but they're not doing things when it matters. That's the biggest part about the Jaguars. We don't seem to do things when they matter. So first downs, 14 for the Jaguars, 21 for the Eagles. 2 to 3 sacks, not too bad. 5 punts for the Jaguars, 3 for the Eagles. Eagles actually had 4 more penalties than we did, so they obviously were getting a little bit more hosed on the penalties there. We threw 2 interceptions. Travis Etienne, I think, was really the main one there that pissed me off because I'm like, I don't even know why Etienne's in the game. He had one good run, but then that's what he does, man. He's just one of those guys. He makes one single good play, and then he makes a terrible play that wipes out every good thing he did for the whole game. So time of possession, 38 minutes for the Eagles, 21 for the Jaguars. It's sad and pathetic, man. It's this whole team is just pathetic. Let's go to individual player stats. Let's look at the Jaguars. Actually, let's look at the Eagles first. I'll end with the Jaguars. Jalen Hurts, 18 to 24, 230, 2 touchdowns. That's an NFL-style quarterback right there. That's an actual NFL quarterback making some good plays. Saquon Barkley, 159 rushing yards. That motherfucker ran for more than twice our entire game worth of rushing. 27 carries, just ridiculous. Jalen Hurts, 67 yards rushing, ridiculous. And then receiving, Devontae Smith, 87 yards on 4 catches. Saquon Barkley, 40 yards on 3 catches. A.J. Brown, he got hurt in the game, but still 36 yards on 2 catches. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then you've got 2 interceptions by the defense. If we're looking at passing for the Jaguars, 16 of 31 for Trevor Lawrence. That's barely 50%. 169 yards, 2 interceptions. Pathetic. No touchdowns. I mean, he ran for 2 touchdowns, but 0 throwing touchdowns. It's pathetic, man. It's really, really sad and pathetic. We've got Brian Thomas Jr. and Evan Ingram. Tank Bigsby's a beast at running back, but we're starting Travis Etienne and trying to throw the ball to fucking Parker Washington and Tramwell. Who in the fuck is deciding any of this crap, man? It's garbage. Travis Etienne, three carries for 24 yards. Tank Bigsby, eight carries for 22 yards. I mean, neither one of them had very good yardage on any of their carries, but you're trying to divvy this up. And Tank Bigsby, he's somebody who's got to get going. He's an awesome running back, but if these guys aren't afraid of the rush, it's not going to matter. You got to get these guys to do a little bit more there. Evan Ingram was our leading receiver with 45 yards on 5 different catches. Parker Washington, 41 yards. Tramwell with 40. Brian Thomas Jr. had 2 catches for 22 yards, man. He is our best receiver on the fucking team. Like, what are you guys doing? Morons. Just fucking morons. I mean, it's insane. Trayvon Walker had a touchdown. He had the fumble recovery, so that was kind of cool. At least that was something. But, you know, Josh Allen got out there. He made a couple plays. He had 2 sacks today, which was big. I mean, Jalen Hurts he's a little bit sack prone, so I was expecting us to do a little bit of something on defense. But, again, it's not enough. It doesn't matter. It's never fucking enough. So, what do I think needs to change going forward? I mean, it doesn't really matter. We got Minnesota next week. They're going to eat us alive. So, you know, we got to get out there. Justin Jefferson's going to go for 5 touchdowns and 200 yards. I mean, we can't stop anybody, so it doesn't really matter. Our cornerbacks are terrible. Our safeties are terrible. Our linebackers are terrible. We're just Ryan Nielsen's defense is bad. Luckily today they tried to play a good game because we were in a hostile environment. They did look faster and a little bit more focused today, but it wasn't enough. The big plays still came, and we just can't seem to do the things that really take effort and concentration. And yeah, like Doug said in the press conference, I do respect him for saying that. They got to coach better, man. These guys are just soft. This team is soft. I mean, and I blame Trevor Lawrence for this loss. Again, you throw the interception at the end of the game, and you have a chance to go out and win the game. Losers lose, winners win. That's the saying. And right now, Trevor Lawrence is a fucking loser, man. This kid does not know how to go out and win a game. Travis Etienne is a fucking loser. He fumbles away big opportunities and big moments. It's pathetic, man. It's really hard to be a Jaguars fan. I'm also a Florida State fan, so this whole year has just been miserable for football. I'm on the brink of like just wanting to cry from frustration because I'm like, bro, I just don't know what to do anymore. I just want to go to sleep and not worry about this fucking team. I wish I could wake up and it's fucking, I'm ready for like UFL, to be honest, man. At least the UFL, I'm not too attached to any teams. I can just watch some fun football that's kind of interesting. It's got some interesting stuff going on. It's a little bit different. It's not as high stakes, but I mean, the Jaguars are just such a fucking anomaly of just, it's misery every time you sit down and watch this team. There's so many things that just make you want to pull your hair out. It frustrates you. It's just miserable, man. It's absolutely miserable. And I start to feel like such a little bitch because everyone's like, oh, you guys almost did it. Fuck off, man. I don't need your sympathy. Fuck you. I don't want this team I'm not giving this team any sympathy. Just do better, man. And to be honest, I'm tired. We can move on from Trevor. That kid, he doesn't focus on football as much as he should. He doesn't care about football like a lot of other people do. I'd much rather have a CJ Stroud or get somebody coming out of the draft that actually gives a fuck about football, to be honest. Bo Nix is out there outplaying Trevor Lawrence every day. Now, he got his ass kicked today, but he's a rookie. I get it. Trevor Lawrence has been in the league for 4 years at this point. I mean, he's coming into a situation. He's had Doug Peterson for 3 years. And even though Urban Meyer wasn't a great coach, that was his rookie year. He could have had some development. I mean, he's had a couple of the same wide receivers around him. He should have more chemistry. He should have more playmaking ability. And there's moments he has flashes of good decision making, but I don't know what it is, man. He still makes stupid, idiotic decisions. He is just a bigger, more handsome Daniel Jones. That's all it is. He's just one of those idiot quarterbacks. Same with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott sucks every time he has a good game every once in a while. That just doesn't matter, but the second the pressure's on him and the lights get big, they all just fucking suck, man. So there's not much more to say about it. I think at this point, I'm not even worried about cleaning house. I like Doug as a coach. I don't think this is on Doug. I think it's on some of the play calls that they end up calling. And I don't know if it's the play call itself or just the execution is miserable. Because a lot of times you go up in here and Trevor's still got to make his reads. So I don't think the play call's bad, but I'm like, dude, just focus on Brian Thomas Jr. Again, when you watch somebody like Minnesota, they are aiming to hit it to Justin Jefferson if possible. They want to get it into his hands if fucking possible, because he's the guy who's got the hot hand. He's the best player in the wide receivers core for Minnesota. So for us, Brian Thomas Jr. right now is our best wide receiver. I know he's been hurt, but you still got to throw the fucking ball to him. Evan Ingram's going to drop some. I get it. He's coming off of a few weeks of injury, and he's had a couple big games. He had a great catch last week for a touchdown, but you've got to get these guys the ball, man. You can't be throwing the ball to Parker Washington and Dearness fucking Johnson at the end of a fucking game, dude. It makes me so mad. And to be honest, it's even worse because I live in Philly. I'm going to have so many fucking Eagles fans tomorrow. Like, it's just going to be miserable, man. And it just sucks. It sucks to be a Jaguars fan. Like, it fucking sucks, dude. It just plain and simple sucks to be a Jaguars fan. So yeah, if anyone knows somebody in the Jaguars organization, just tell them that. Just be like, I don't know, our fans are mad, but I think more than anything, they're just disappointed, bro. Like, they're just tired of being fans of this team because you guys don't do anything to help your fans out. You guys don't care about your fans. You don't care about a Super Bowl. You don't care about the game of football. You guys care about fucking money, getting a paycheck, and just keeping your job. And if you don't get your job, you'll just move on to another team. So at this point, I believe the Jaguars are just cursed. Something about the second you sign that contract, every player on our team just sucks. It doesn't. I don't get it. Well, I don't know if Shad Khan sold his soul to the devil to get all the money he had, and now he's just having to reap the benefits of sucking for the next few years until he gives it up. But it is what it is. So I appreciate y'all stopping by. Hopefully we'll have better luck next week, and then we get a bye week, I believe, after that, right? Either in the next couple weeks. But at this point, just looking forward to the end of the season. We're definitely not hitting the playoffs. It's crazy. There's 9 teams, I believe, that are 2-7 right now. Jaguars are probably the best 2-17, but at this point, you might as well just try to go out and pick first, get Travis Hunter, do what we can. I mean, I don't want to get rid of Doug personally, unless it's Belichick that we can scoop up instead. I actually like Doug. I think Doug's a good coach. I think he's a passionate coach. It's just the people around him, man, and the talent we have, and everything about the organization otherwise. I don't know if it's just making everybody else, if it's bringing everyone down. A couple bad decisions here and there by some people is just making everybody worse. I don't know, but it is what it is. So I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all have a good week. Don't stress this too much like me. Just, we'll sleep it off. Life's not that bad, but at the same time, Jaguars fucking suck. Our cursed franchise, and I don't know if we'll ever be good. Maybe we should just come to peace with never having a Super Bowl over there and just being the worst team ever. So, yeah. See y'all on the next one. Peace out.